Dobar dan svima vama koji se sad uključujete. Uživo ste na kanalu Radio Televizije Atlas. Pratite Pop Kvart, vašu dnevnu dozu kulture koja se emituje svakog radnog dana u sklopu emisije 5 do 5. Danas smo za vas spremili zaista interesantne priče sa svjetske kulturne scene i prva priča dolazi iz sfere pozorišta, muzike i to kada ovako ujedinite dobijete nešto što se zove opera, tako.
For a long time, my interest in theater and in opera was to apply cinematic perspectives, a visual experience that is almost exclusively perceived in film. So, camera pans and zooms in, pans back, and so forth, aerial shots. I found that applying that to a theatrical experience is sort of disorienting and pleasurable. Worked with Ada Whitney and Marcelo Cardozo and her team at Beehive to create these environments that the whole production exists within, to render, ancient Egypt in the desert, not just as a backdrop, but to create the effect of essentially putting the audience in the camera.
It's a pretty monumental task we took on here because we created 2.5 hours of content for the screens that play basically through the full opera. What the screen does is it's interesting, it moves in and out of a tangible reality throughout the piece where we see really great expanses of deserts. Then we move away from that into these very abstract moments. We wanted to create a world that was real but not real. So there's a painterly quality to what you'll see in all of the real landscape scenes as opposed to the abstractions. He decided in the beginning that not to work from a place of necessarily grounded in reality, but in spirituality. It just took it beyond the traditional story and what you expected of the Exodus. And it really tapped into the idea of the spirit and light. And since we were using an LED screen, the two things just seemed like this perfect kind of coming together of technology, art, and message. The
other element of the story of Moses and the Exodus from Egypt and the story of the Pharaoh and all those things, that definition included the 1956 Charlton Heston Ten Commandments epic Hollywood drama. When Michael first came to me and we were sitting down talking about, his big vision for it, at the end of the conversation, I was like really excited. He said, and of course, you're going to have to part the Red Sea. I'm an artist, not just a designer, so my background, I started in painting and installations, and really I looked at a lot of art. I looked to Turner and Sacetta. We couldn't just go out and use what we shot. There was a lot of research and design that went into a mix of using elements that we shot, still photography, and computer effects. Technically, what was very challenging was because we're using the video in a very cinematic way, the coordination of the cues of what's happening on the stage and what's happening in the video is very complex because there's a turntable on the stage and people are walking and the video's moving and the camera's turning in the video. So it's really big and it's cinematic, but it's also technically very exacting. The complexity of doing what we've done and creating these, 3D CG environments, creating the effect of the camera pans. I don't think I would have known at the outset just how challenging it would be. People come with a set of expectations. You say opera, for many people it means something specific. I think the challenge of opera today and opera companies is to reinvent opera. So I really wanted to create a production that defied those expectations, that had a certain visual complexity and sophistication. Although we're doing something that's not traditional in the opera world, we really don't leave the essence of the story and the emotion and the guts of the piece at all. It really connects to the music and to what's happening on stage and reinforces Rossini's vision. It's epic. I mean, it's awesome. It's like you watch and you're like, it's incredible.
Ono što slijedi jeste priča iz domena umjetnosti i dizajna i sada ćete da vidite predstavljanje ruskih autora na jednoj francuskoj izložbi.
It's the first time since 1906 that Russian artists are presented in such quantity and quality under the majestical cupola of Grand Palais. Our gallery was founded in 2008 in Moscow. My idea from the very beginning was to make a bridge between two countries. I started to bring French artists to Russia. Here on the booth we're presenting the works of the Ivan Razumov. We're trying to talk about art which is not defended by galleries, which is the political art and art of protest. Art of protest is something which is you cannot hang in your living room, you know. It's more about the way you live the historical moment, and it's documentation of this moment.
The 16th line is the gallery based in Rostov-on-Don. It's in the south of Russia. Paris Art Fair is our third international art fair after Vienna and London. On our booth you can see works by our 8 artists. We present here Masha Bagaras, her dogs, which are very popular here as well as at Vienna Art Fair. They are the works by Sonia Sakharyan, our young artist. She works with mixed media.
I'm Vladimir Dudchenko, co-founder and chairman of the Gallery Greenberg in Moscow. We show photography mostly, for the most part, but also edition arts in different media. Specifically, we show Alexander Gronsky, who is a young artist. He's 33 years old, and he's done most of his projects in Russia and China. And he's got several museum shows already, and he's won a number of important international awards. Behind me on that wall is the wall of Nikolai Bakharev. He's an artist from Siberia, from Novokuznetsk, and he was very well known like in the underground scene of the late Soviet Union. And he has been included into the main project in the Venice biennial this year. So we're really happy with that development.
Oui, c'est la galerie Nadia Vrikina. On a une galerie à Moscou et à Zurich. Et ce qui est important pour nous, ce qu'on montre, les artistes non conformistes, ça veut dire des artistes qui n'avaient pas des droits d'avoir ni exposition, ni ouvrage pendant la période soviétique. La galerie est vraiment concentrée sur les publications, sur les ouvrages, sur cette période-là. Tous ces artistes, il faut dire, ils ne sont pas partis, ils n'ont pas quitté la Russie, mais c'est cette période qui est vraiment très importante. Ça veut dire que c'était l'art pour l'art, il y avait pas...
Poštovani gledalci, to je bilo sve što smo spremili za današnji Pop Kvart. Meni je ostalo da vas podsjetim da je takmičenje i konkurs novih autora otvoren do petka, da je tema za ovu sedmicu sonet. Dakle, treba da napišete sonet i pošaljete ga na adresu noviautori@rtvatlas.tv. Toliko za današnji Pop Kvart. Mi se vidimo ponovo sjutra. Sada ostanite se Dankom, zato što je spremila zaista mnogo interesantnih stvari za današnju emisiju 5 do 5. Do sjutra, budite dobri, budite dobro. Prijatno!